Hey guys, today we're taking a look at my Raviel deck. Now obviously a deck like this is focused on bringing out fiends and summoning out Raviel. It's worth noting that Raviel might be better as a tech card in like fiend decks, but obviously this deck will just be focusing on summoning out Raviel and blowing over your opponent with his high attack. So we're going to be running 3 Raviel. Obviously in a deck that focuses on him you'll want to be running 3. If you're going to run him as a tech card in other decks you probably won't be running 3. Mostly focused on the fact that he's very strong stat-wise. His effect isn't as interesting that he can summon out tokens, but you can still do some interesting stuff with that. And the rest of the deck will really be, focused on bringing out 3 fiends easily in order to summon out Raviel. So we have 3 Tour Guide. Obviously Tour Guide really good for this deck, giving us 2 fiends very easily on top of our 3-star XYZ. So it has, kind of a double effect in this deck and works very nicely with some of the other cards we have. And then we have 3 Kuriboh, so obviously Kuriboh helps us, avoid battle damage, but we'll be abusing his combination with Multiply to bring out Raviel very easily. And then Giant Germ, also helping us kind of like Tour Guide, bringing us out 2 more Giant Germs, giving us easy access to bringing out Raviel. And also because of this, you can get 2-star XYZs out as well, so that's another choice. Then we're going to be running 3 Battle Fader. Really good for this deck, giving us a special summon of a fiend and setting up what we need to do. Combos really well, you can use Battle Fader and on the next turn bring out Tour Guide and there's Raviel right away. So very nice. Same thing with Tragoedia. Tragoedia gives us access to a lot of stuff. Even more XYZ power, swarming power, some additional attack power, and it's also level 10. So with Raviel we can bring out 10-star XYZs, which is very nice. And then to Stygian Security, this one just allows us to search out our level 1 fiends. So we'll be using this to search out Kuriboh and combo with Multiply, or if we don't have a target for that, we'll be using Battle Fader instead, just to keep bringing out more fiends when we're on the defense. And then 1 Night Assailant, just having that other target for Tour Guide, obviously can be a very useful card. Now for the spells, we're going to be running 3 Multiply, obviously comboing with Kuriboh to do Raviel. 3 might be a bit much. I'm thinking about running 2 or 3. It really depends. The thing is, searching out Kuriboh in this deck is pretty easy, so I really like to have access to Multiply, and this is the easiest way to get out, Raviel with what I'm doing. Then we're going to be running 3 Mound of the Bound Creator, so this will be very useful for our deck. The big problem with a Raviel deck is you're going to get out Raviel and he'll get destroyed, so he won't be very useful. So you're going to use Mound in combination with Raviel to create a really powerful field situation, and also works for Tragoedia as well, which is nice. And then 2 Fires of Doomsday, obviously just acting as Tour Guide or Giant Germ, giving us 2 easy special summons. Obviously you'll do this at the end of your opponent's turn, and then on the next turn you can summon a fiend and do your play, so that's very nice. And then 2 MST, helping us deal with back row. 2 Forbidden Lance, another way to protect Raviel. Nice to have this in case your opponent, runs a field card or something like that, or they destroy yours. And Dark Hull and 1 for 1. 1 for 1, really nice. Another way to search out Kuriboh or some of the other level 1s we're using. And then some staple traps, not too much to say there. You can run pretty much whatever you want. Do want some protection though when it comes to back row to get rid of our opponent's really powerful stuff. So now for the extra deck, I'm going to have a few, different varieties of levels. So for the level 1s, we're going to have 2 Dullahan. Dullahan's really nice, and on top of that, he's a fiend. So he's a target for Raviel while he's out there stalling, which I think is really nice. And then Slacker Magician, just kind of a better stalling card you can use. Utopia Roots, very useful these days. I definitely like to have this if I have access to it. Herald, for level 2s, we have Giant Germ, so we can get at level 2s. Not as important, but I like Herald to get back Raviel because you can't really search him out, so it's nice to be able to recycle him. And Gachi Gachi to stall. For the 3 stars, 2 Zenmaines. Stalling can be really good for this deck to get out what you need, so I like to run 2 of this, and there's not many other choices that I really want to run. Also running 1 Temtempo. Again, because he's a fiend, I really like having this, so you have an XYZ that helps you bring out Raviel as well, which is very nice. And then Leviathan, Leviair, Alucard, some normal ones you'll expect to see. And then just 2 of the 10-star XYZs, Gustav and Skypalace. Just very powerful cards and will help you win the duel if you do happen to get Tragoedia and Raviel out, or 2 Raviels out. So now for the side deck, if you haven't seen a video of mine before, when I'm talking about a side deck, I really just talk about, recommended cards that you can also run with this deck that could be very useful. It isn't meant to be a side deck for matches, so don't try to think of it that way. Think of it as ideas when you're building your own Raviel deck. So Phantom Skyblaster is one that gets talked about a lot because you can bring out tokens and, easily make the field setup for summoning out Raviel. So it's another choice, but I thought I would go with some other things that I think will be more useful. As I was saying before, Raviel is probably better as a tech card, so you could put him in like Dark Worlds and other decks if you want to use them that way. It might be more consistent that way. Garbage Lord, a free special summon that you can do in order to bring out Raviel, but it's very costly, so it's up to you. Metabo Globster, if you're using Tribute Fiend monsters, you can use this to bring out all these Fiend tokens and bring out Raviel very nicely, which is very, very powerful. You'll have a Tribute monster on top of Raviel, so that could be very powerful. I definitely thought about running that. And Puppet Master, a Tribute monster that you can use to bring out Fiend-type monsters from your graveyard, so that's another combination. Crash Bugs, you can run Crash Bugs and bring out Raviel, that's another choice. Dark Necrofear, you're tributing a lot of Fiend monsters, so you can definitely use this. An issue with my deck is that it does has more to do with tokens, but still can be useful. Dark Necrofear, a fun card to use. And, there's some very powerful Fiend tribute monsters to combo in, like Dark Ruler can be really nice. Caius, things like that. Maybe you'll have access to 5 and 6 star XYZs as well, which is nice. And then other spells and traps. You can run Token Sunday, obviously. With Kuriboh and Multiply, you could blow up your opponent's field. That's another choice. You can run DNA Surgery, and then you can run whatever you want and bring out Fiends, so that's another choice. There's other token support, Token Stampede, helping you out with some of the tokens, and Raviel, because Raviel brings out tokens, even though they can't attack, can still be very powerful to stall and set up what you need to do and use Raviel's effect. Other stall cards, Threatening Roar can be helpful, Safe Zone can be helpful to protect Raviel. Golden Apples, it's another Fiend token thing that you can use, kind of like Battle Fader, but helping you gain life points back from the attack, so it can be very, very nice. And Hate Buster, there's a bunch of Fiend Dark support cards out there, so you can definitely use this to back up your really low attack Fiend monsters, or just have, more support for Raviel. So there's a bunch of other ones out there like Dark Illusion and just random stuff. So that's my Raviel deck. Again, just focusing on summoning out Raviel, bringing out this very powerful monster, and trying to back him up. Obviously, the deck is very focused on bringing out those Fiends, and that makes it kind of tough to run if you're not getting Raviel or bringing him out. But it still has some alternative plays it can do with XYZs and stuff like that. So still having a lot of fun with it. But as far as the Sacred Beasts go, I would definitely prefer Yuria and Haman more than Raviel, because they kind of have a deck type that can support itself without just bringing out their boss monster. But if you guys have your own Raviel decks, any ideas for me, you could post below. Let me know in the comments. Maybe you can think of some interesting cards that I didn't think about. I'm sure there's tons, since there's a lot of different special summoning options you do have access to. So let me know in the comments below. But as always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later.